So part two of the video that I made a couple of hours ago, just shortly after I had woken up and was sitting here at my table quietly having coffee and trying to get my day going. The sponsored paid career criminal, sex offender, and psychopath that the Greenville Group had repeatedly bragged about in terms of this psychopath and sex offender's technical abilities and hacking talents, according to the property manager, the criminal Russian slumlord Oleg Alisayev, and his partner in crime, Alex Kritnik, the property owner. They have been not just housing a highly dangerous, psychotic, obsessive sex offender named Jasmine Irizarry. But according to Ms. Irizarry's own multiple written comments on my social media pages, they are paying her to engage in the exact set of criminal activities that I keep observing, noting, and experiencing that Irizarry is engaging in towards me, if not other tenants, on a daily basis. All I need to do if I want to figure out whether Jasmine Irizarry is crouching and perving and creeping in the vacant bathroom located behind this wall, or if she's crouching, perving, and creeping in the vacant unit directly below this one, and that unit is vacant because there is an echo chamber of noise that happens whenever psychotic pieces of shit like Jasmine Irizarry get violent and aggressive directly below my unit whenever I happen to engage in certain very key silent personal activities in the privacy of my living space. That unit is not furnished. You cannot have a literal reverberation of slamming and pounding that occurs at certain key moments when I happen to do certain things in this unit, but not others, and have the unit below be furnished. So maybe somebody is living in it, but it is not furnished. And it sounds like an echo chamber whenever Jasmine Irizarry or one of her BLM activist friends becomes violent, aggressive, and intrusive directly below wherever I happen to be sitting or standing in the privacy of my living space. And because I don't wear noisy shoes, these are rubber-soled flat nursing shoes. These are the kinds of shoes that nurses wear when they're on the floor in hospitals and in medical centers. Then nobody should have any knowledge of where I happen to be located at any given moment in the privacy of my living space from one floor below. Okay. But Irizarry is apparently and evidently and reportedly getting paid by the Greenville Group to coordinate a large number of surveillance devices in this building, some of which appear to be in this unit and have been reportedly doxxed by multiple nasty comments made on my social media pages by the large number of sex offender, psycho trash, so-called BLM hate stalking rejects that are housed in large numbers by the Greenville Group in this building complex. And therefore, all I need to do to trigger these psychos into doxing their physical presence, either directly below in 76 or directly behind that wall, is to engage in certain very specific, key, unique, silent activities in the privacy of my living space. Irizarry has an extensive history of contaminating my food, but it is not indiscriminate. She's not stupid. She's a psychotic, perverted, and severely disturbed. She's also homicidal. She's also a pedophile. Oh, yeah, so she just blasted me with her directed energy device when I mentioned the word pedophile. I'm going to say this again. Jasmine Irizarry is a child molesting pedophile piece of trash that can't leave women or children alone. And the Boston police are the ones who told me that she targets other women. I figured out that she's a pedophile because every time I happen to watch any movie whatsoever that happens to have children in it, she stupidly and psychotically thinks that I'm some sort of a pedophile just like her. And then she starts becoming violent, aggressive, and intrusive whenever the kids happen to show up on the screen, proving everything that I say. One, that she has hacked into my devices and she has moment-by-moment knowledge of what I happen to watch or do or perform on those devices at any given moment. Two, she is using surveillance devices in this living space and can hear and have knowledge of every single thing that I happen to do in the privacy of this living space on a moment-by-moment basis. And three, she's a pedophile, just like I keep observing, noting, and experiencing. She becomes violent, aggressive, and intrusive whenever I happen to watch a movie that happens to have children in it. I'm not the one who has issues with children. She does. Talk about kids, such as mentioning my nieces and nephews to my mom or my dad or whoever I happen to be chatting with on my phone in the privacy of this living space. Or C, when I actually have something to do with kids, such as I'm talking on the phone with my niece or nephews or texting my niece. Irizarry becomes violent, aggressive, and psychotic when I engage in any of the three above activities that I just mentioned in the privacy of this living space. She's a pedophile, a disgusting, child molesting, psycho reject pedophile piece of trash that brags that she's getting paid by Oleg Alexeyev of the Greenville Group to use surveillance devices in this living space to hack into any and all of my electronic devices and disable those electronic devices as I need to use them and as I am trying to use them. And that she manages to get in here and contaminates my food, my clothing, personal care items, and anything that I might need to get out of here and function in an external capacity outside of this building. So one of the things that Jasmine Irizarry does very strategically is contaminate my coffee. What is the first thing that you go for when you wake up in the morning and you have stuff to do and you need to get out and attend to obligations outside the building? Well, you drink coffee. The next thing that she does is contaminate my pastries or any kind of goodies and baked goods that my friends might happen to give me as a gift. One of my friends gave me this like 2 weeks ago, and it has been deliberately contaminated, even though I taped it up. I have to tape up all of my stuff. Do you see the duct tape around the top of this Folgers container? That is not an accident. I've had to duct tape the little gift box of pastries that my friend gave me a couple of weeks ago. And thankfully, some of them are wrapped in plastic that are sealed. So I don't think Irizarry has been able to contaminate the wrapped sealed ones, but she did contaminate the ones that my friend had put into tinfoil. And the tinfoil was literally removed. And the pastries that my friend gave me as a gift now smell like dog shit, literally dog shit. So I've actually saved these little pastries as evidence because my friend gave me these as a little gift a couple weeks ago when we hung out. And Irizarry removed this part of the tinfoil and these delightful little cookies that smelled fantastic when my friend gave them to me. We all know what baked goods smell like, now smell literally like dog shit and like feet. No, the smell's not coming from my feet. Otherwise, I would smell it continuously. This is something that was literally contaminated and put on top of this little wrapped gifty of cookies that my friend gave me a couple weeks ago. So it can't be eaten. And thankfully, I smelled it before I ate it, and it smells absolutely horrendous. Again, like dog shit and like feet. I don't know what Irizarry uses to contaminate my food, my clothing, my personal care items, my cosmetics, but whatever it is that she uses, it always smells absolutely horrendously foul. And the smell only comes from that one item. Just like the tap water, the smell only comes from that tap water. And when you shut off the tap water, when it stinks so foul that you're like overpowered by the stench that is suddenly coming out of it, when you turn off the tap water and the stench stops, then you know that Irizarry is the one responsible for contaminating the tap water, just like she seems to be the one responsible for contaminating certain very key items that I need to use every morning to get going and to attend to my obligations. Another thing that I mentioned that Jasmine Irizarry, the psychopath, psycho trash, perving, creeping, wanking, career criminal, sex offender, pig, goes for in terms of my personal care items that she should have no knowledge of, but obviously knows exactly where I keep them because she's the one who, according to Oleg Alexeyev, the property manager, can take care of any problem, can solve any problem. Not solve any problem, make it go away, basically, is what he was telling me. She can make any problem go away, is lip liners. I have made probably 24 videos about missing lip liners over the last couple of years that Jasmine Irizarry manages to steal out of the very unusual and secret hiding places where I have to hide my lip liners in order for them to not get stolen, contaminated, or vandalized by Jasmine Irizarry. And yet almost every single time I purchase a brand new lip liner, bring it home, and then hide it somewhere, she manages to find it. How? Because she's the one using what Oleg Alexeyev has bragged about in terms of her abilities. She's the Greenville Group's surveillance expert. She's a super talented hacker who can get into anything. So that's exactly what keeps happening. And just now, when I pulled out this brand new lip liner that I just got the other day, Irizarry started deliberately engaging in the use of a directed energy device to electronically assault me as I was pulling out this brand new, fresh, clean, uncontaminated lip liner from the box that I had brought it home in. She hates lip liners. She has a problem with lip liners. And when I was out in California a year and a half ago at my mom's house, Irizarry travels from state to state to follow me around wherever I go because she's being sponsored and paid by the Greenville Group to do this, who are Soros funded. The Greenville Group, a.k.a. Alex Kritnick and Oleg Alexeyev, are a Soros-funded activistic group that are not legitimate landlords. They're using this building as some kind of a money laundering front, as I have been informed by 6 separate individuals who came up to me in person over the last few years and told me what they're doing in this building. Irizarry gets paid to travel to other states. And when I was at my mom's house in California a year and a half ago, like 3 lip liners that I had purchased when I was out there kept disappearing from inside my mom's house where I was hiding my lip liners and bags and drawers. Irizarry seems to be quite the technical expert, according to her friend Oleg Eliseyev, and she is able to use surveillance devices pretty much everywhere she goes because she is a Soros-funded, Greenville-sponsored criminal career sex offender, hate-stalking psychopath who claims that she is working for BLM. Yeah, BLM are funded by George Soros, who is also sponsoring the Greenville Group or aiding and abetting the Greenville Group in housing large numbers of sex offender psycho trash who masquerade as BLM activists in this building complex. Irizarry would be one of them. So again, as soon as I pulled out my lip liner and started applying it on my lips, Irizarry doxed the fact that she's a psychotic pervert who has issues with lipsticks and sex offenders and started assaulting me just 3 minutes ago, before I started making this video, with the same directed energy device that she brags in multiple written comments that she is getting paid a lot of money to use on my person. In fact, Irizarry's ability to get into this unit when I'm presumably out for the day or down the hall in the common bathroom for a few minutes is so prolific that she manages to contaminate stuff within just a few minutes of me going down the hall for a couple of minutes. And she always contaminates the same stuff. She goes for the coffee, the peanut butter. I don't know what her deal is with peanut butter. Maybe it's a sex offender thing. I don't know. But somebody becomes violent and aggressive every time I start eating peanut butter out of the jar from directly below in 76. Oh yeah, now she's electronically assaulting me again with her directed energy device as I am mentioning peanut butter and showing that these 2 jars of peanut butter have been so contaminated and smell so nasty that I can't eat them. She contaminates the shampoo. I cannot use the shampoo because it smells like someone's filthy feet. Again, everything smells like feet or like vomit. Lipsticks that I had literally shoved into my bag that I cover with a towel to protect it have been destroyed by Irizarry. She has this thing with lipsticks. Once again, maybe it's a sex offender thing, but Irizarry has destroyed 2 brand new lipsticks. Do you see that right there? It is completely, somebody has poked a giant hole in the middle of it. Want to see this? Do you see this hole that's been poked into the middle of this brand new lipstick? I think I had it for maybe 4 days before I came home and found that it had been vandalized to such a degree I can't use it. She not just poked a giant hole in it, destroyed the entire lipstick. And she's been doing this to my lipsticks since 2013. I mean, I have made, I don't know, probably 20 videos about my lipsticks getting smashed up, contaminated, smeared all over the place. I mean, that's how you know you're dealing with a female psychopath, when they attack your cosmetics, your personal care products, like your face cream, anything you have to put on your face or on your skin, especially your lips. I mean, she has a problem with lips. Anytime I put any kind of object in my mouth, whether it's a toothbrush or a spoon, or eat peanut butter out of a jar with a spoon, she becomes violent and aggressive and psychotic and severely disturbed. Yeah, this hand cream right here smelled wonderful maybe a week ago, and I came home and tried using it, and it smells like feet. Once again, everything smells like feet. I don't know what kind of biological contaminant Jasmine Irizarry is using to contaminate my stuff, but it always smells like feet or like vomit. She's probably just smearing her own dirty feet all over my stuff. Maybe that's the easiest way of contaminating other people's things. This lipstick disappeared. So this was also a fairly new lipstick, and it's completely missing. It's gone from the tube. Do you see any lipstick in this tube? I don't. Somebody literally pulled the lipstick out of this tube, and I've only had this lipstick since September. I should still have plenty of product left, and it is gone. So again, I mean, I'm going to start charging the Greenville Group for all of the items that their paid sponsored career criminal Jasmine Irizarry continuously contaminates by physically managing to get in here when she knows that I'm down the hall for a couple of minutes. Thanks to Greenville's use of surveillance devices, she contaminates my foundation. This stuff is expensive. It's like 12 or 14 bucks for one of these little tubes. And when I open it and it smells like feet all of a sudden, you know, Irizarry has contaminated it with her biohazardous body fluid contaminants that she's been using for years and that I've been reporting for years. Chapstick also contaminated. So it's not just lipstick that she contaminates, it's chapstick. And that chapstick started burning my skin as soon as I put it on, which means some kind of horrific chemical corrosive substance was put on that chapstick. I literally had to scrape my mouth with rubbing alcohol after having used that chapstick just a few days ago. So again, all of this stuff, my cookies from my friend that now smell like feet and dog shit that my friend gave me a couple of weeks ago that were nicely wrapped by her. Obviously, this is not a factory sealed plastic wrap job. So, Irizarry was able to get to these cookies. She couldn't get to the rest of the pastries in that box. All of my face cosmetics smell like feet. They all smell like feet. The shampoo smells like feet. The peanut butter smells like fish. So God knows what she's putting in any of this stuff, but it all smells like biohazardous bacterial contamination from presumably somebody's body fluids, if not hers and somebody else's. And I have to go out and buy new stuff. My face powder has something in it that is so corrosive that if I even put it like on my arms start to sting and burn. And same thing with the chapstick. The chapstick started inducing immediate stinging and burning as soon as I put it on my lips. And I had to literally scrape the chapstick off of my lips with rubbing alcohol. So this is the handiwork of the Greenville Group's career criminal sponsored BLM activist technical coordinator, Jasmine Irizarry, who happens to be a homicidal psychopath with a verifiable history of homicidal attempts, ideation, and behaviors. And she's also an obsessively perverted sex offender who has problems with little kids. Not me. I don't. I never have. I've always been a great babysitter. I'm an aunt to 5 young nieces and nephews, and I am fantastic with kids without having the need to have any. I've never really wanted to have kids of my own. I've always been great taking care of everybody else's kids, and that's how I like to take care of kids, not my own, other people's. But Irizarry is a pedophile who seems to think that everybody else is also a pedophile, and that if other people happen to be watching movies with kids in them, like, the Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, especially around Halloween, Harry Potter, fantastic for Halloween, Home Alone for the holidays, like Christmas movies. Christmas movies always have kids in them, and that's okay because Christmas is really for kids. Irizarry becomes violent, aggressive, and intrusive whenever I happen to be watching any movie with kids in it. And that's the pedophile right there. She thinks everybody else is as sick and twisted and perverted and psychotic as she is, and she's sadly mistaken about that.